Executive Vice President and General Manager Compute, HPC and AI, Neil McDonald.
If I were sitting in your shoes out there today, I might find it difficult to approach. I'd be asking myself, how do I take this and do something useful in my organization? How do I navigate all of that complexity to get to meaningful outcomes? I might think, I don't have the same resources that hyperscalers and big model builders do. But let's begin at the beginning. What are we talking about when we say artificial intelligence? It's not new. 34 years ago, I got my university degree in AI. It's not a new development. It's a rich field with a long history. But in traditional terms, artificial intelligence didn't rely on massive amounts of data. Instead, it relied on handcrafted rules and expert knowledge. And it excelled in industry-specific tasks where predefined rules that could be written down guided behavior. That was the era of things like expert systems. But then, as a more modern subset of AI, we saw the emergence of machine learning and then later deep learning, which allow computers to make predictions without being explicitly programmed. Those neural networking technologies that applied in machine learning and deep learning take labeled data and train artificial intelligence in order to label new data. It's really all about learning patterns. All of that has been around for a while. But generative AI is a key shift, because generative AI is now about generating things, not labeling things. Generative AI is uniquely able to create entirely new content. It resembles human-generated material. It might be text, it might be images, it might be code, it might be any number of things. And because of that, generative AI holds the potential to transform fundamentally human productivity. So how are Gen AI models developed and made useful for organizations like yours? AI is nothing without data. So Gen AI has to start with gathering all of the potential of sources of data relevant to your project. That data has to be curated and then transformed and then organized in order to begin your generative AI journey. That high-quality input data is essential to better train models and higher quality output. So in this stage of training, large foundational models are trained on vast amounts of data. These models learn complex patterns and gain a contextual understanding that makes them capable of generating generic content. But training foundational models takes an enormous amount of data, especially if those are general-purpose foundational models. It is, without doubt, the most computationally intensive workload of our times. An exabyte of training data was required for ChatGPT-4. That's a model that has close to 2 trillion parameters to be trained. And that task took tens of thousands of GPUs for months and months and months. So obviously, there are very few enterprises that are creating their own large language model, foundational models from scratch, given that immense investment in time and resources. But if you take a pre-trained model and apply it to your business, that model hasn't been trained on your business. It hasn't captured the knowledge and the intelligence that you have inside your organization. So if you take that pre-trained model, you're not going to get output that is high quality and relevant to your use cases in your business. So what to do? Well, enterprises can and will fine-tune models or develop smaller industry context-specific models that bring that enterprise's data or industry knowledge to the model to improve its accuracy for those specific use cases. Or other organizations will augment the quality of the output by leveraging retrieval-augmented generation, which accesses existing enterprise data and information to better inform the quality of the output. And the great news is that that fine-tuning and that RAG can be done with much, much more modest infrastructure in much faster time. The key, though, is that the existing IT infrastructures that you run in your organizations simply cannot do this effectively. We need a new paradigm. We need new architectures.